Wake up, Shinigami. You're chugging Bleach with the only podcast that unlocks your bunkai.
Welcome to Chugging Bleach, your only source for all of Bleach, unfortunately.
Bob, are you putting up torrents?
Okay, the only podcast source for rewatching and then talking about all of Bleach.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm proud to be that.
That unfortunately came up right before we watched this set where you said, what if we just didn't?
We didn't just watch all of it.
But sorry.
If only.
Locked in, baby.
Right. Unfortunately, yes.
Thankfully.
But with me, as usual, I have, I'm Bob Video Games. I have Dan Video Games here.
I thought it was anime.
I'm sorry, Dan. You're getting a downgrade this episode.
I like video game.
KZ Excellence from KZExcellent.com.
We're all Bounts, especially the person that is not a Bount.
And of course, Mr. Feel.
Something clock.
Mommy.
Don't fucking.
But we are watching episode 79 through 83 today.
It's fun.
Yeah, it was some good stuff. This is great months of watching Bleach, getting ready for for Thanksgiving with our Bleach.
Oh, you know what? I sure am thankful for Gene Kariya.
Yeah. What a bountiful spread.
But if you want to listen to this early, Feel, I hear you have a way to do that. It might involve torrenting something.
You want to listen to Chugging Bleach early? You can go to our Patreon at patreon.com/GBPodcast. For as little as $5 a month, you get access to many benefits, such as early access to this and Mondo Cool, our two anime review podcasts, extended armchair dev pitches and gamer premonitions, wherein we actually get to say the ideas we wrote because the format of those shows are cruel, and a Patreon exclusive show, one every month, wherein you decide what bad or good thing we get to watch and then talk about. That's patreon.com/GBPodcast. And if you don't have any money, you can always tell your friends about us and maybe they have money.
Thanks, Feel. And, normally I would redirect to someone else, but I'm going right back to you to have you tell me about the episodes.
Wonderful.
Okay, let's go.
I feel like it's important that Field does it because it's the one person who's not in the room watching with us.
Yeah, I get like the purest experience of someone watching this like as it was airing.
Yeah, you do.
Mm-hmm.
Also, I've never seen this filler, so now we're in uncharted territory for me also.
Oh, that's great.
Episode 79. We open with Rukia and Orihime and Ririn sitting around talking about how men are stupid and passing around the one brain cell between the three of them. They're like, man, Ichigo had to spend all night training because he got depression from getting owned once. What a cuck.
Yep.
And then Ichigo and Renji like come out of the back of Urahara's shop like almost like a sitcom, like the sitcom dad coming home from work tired. Luckily Urahara's assistant, whose name escapes me at the moment, has prepared some delicious Vegemite on toast for breakfast.
Surely that's what it is.
Mm-hmm. Seems possible.
Renji doesn't know what coffee is because I guess Soul Society is like 1100s Japan. He doesn't like coffee because he's a whiny child. Ichigo mocks him for being a whiny child and not liking coffee. Then he's like, I want 6 sugar cubes and 6 ounces of coffee because fuck it, I guess you can't get diabetes if you're already dead, right?
Right.
Orihime becomes the bread girl and starts to eat the bread.
Yes.
Accurate.
Renji and Rukia talk about coffee, and Ruki's like, I already cleared coffee, like it's a boss fight. So I guess nobody in Soul Society can drink coffee. And then we cut to the Bount fucking around in the rubble of the mansion.
Now, I wrote some verbatim quotes here because I think this is some of the funniest shit Bleach has ever said.
He stopped it, rewound twice to get all of it.
Yes, because this
Let
shit
me have it.
cracked me up. So they're at this shithole of a mansion, which got blown the fuck up last time, if you remember. Gene is repairing a fucking clock, and as he does this...
Isn't it?
As he does this, he goes, For Bounts, time has stopped from the beginning. We can fix the gears, but the hands of time will never move for us. And then somebody else
Yeah.
goes, human lives are all governed by time. That's why they reject us, Bounts, because we simply exist, and that's all. And then that guy who isn't a Bounce goes, it's true.
I wrote that. Yeah.
For Bounce, time doesn't flow, and that's why they despise us. And I'm like, dude.
Yeah. All my notes
Okay, for
here
one-
is Ichinose sucks.
Okay, yeah. One, Maki, you're not a Bounce. Shut the fuck up. Two, maybe normal people reject you because you're fucking vampires who eat people. Three, as we learn in these episodes, the thing about time being stopped isn't even really true, depending on what happens.
Yeah. Well, if you recall, the last set of episodes taught us that Uryu is very important to their plan, which will also get upended by the end of this.
Yes. They don't know.
That feels less upended than other things by the end of this.
You know, sometimes some things don't make sense. They don't age unless they eat a lot.
I'm still sitting here like, yeah, that Ichinose just in blackface.
He's just like, that's why they hate us.
No, not Bount face.
We need to keep moving here.
My old captain loved costumes.
Ishida still has a head wound and is stumbling around, desperate to find the woman who groomed him. There's a conversation about presences disappearing, which is really fucking stupid and difficult to follow, and I'm not sure what they're talking about, because it just sounds like they were like write vague filler dialogue.
It sounded like the first time they mentioned it, it's what's her name, Yoshino left, and then they do the presence thing again to see the other two left coming up.
Yep.
But they can't like use words that make any level of sense at all.
They have to remain mysterious.
I have to crack the code to figure out what's happening in the anime episode.
So we cut back to Kariya, and he's sitting on the couch, which frankly is a low-tier couch for the series of Bleach. Groomer went right back to here.
Yeah, immediately.
Yeah.
She's gotten rinsed by like 4 different people at this point, but still like, no, I can do it. This will work out.
Well, this time is different. She just wants to go there and die.
It feels like she wants to win also while dying, though. That feels like her goal is to win.
Well,
She's
also
determined.
She knew she was fated to die. The plot wrote that.
They didn't have to change that part.
We get more of Ishida bickering with Ririn because he wants his mommy GF back, which I wrote before the end of this episode, and I started screaming.
Yep.
Everybody fucking left this mansion, also we could come back right fucking 1 episode later.
Yes.
Feels great.
Yup.
What a stupid show.
So Groomer and Kariya begin to fight. Groomer appears to be somewhat more competent this time, by which I mean she isn't instantly bodied. Everybody else, Ichigo and Chad and Orihime and everybody, are having a meeting in Urahara's shop, and it is the worst scene so far in the whole show.
It's a race against time. You and Renji use flash step and get ahead.
You've not been authorized.
That's not even what I'm talking about.
Okay.
It's the mod soul. What is that one's name? The one who's a sexual predator and looks like the
Oh
Pokemon
shit!
character.
Nobody knows. Don't worry about it.
Pink one.
I wrote it down at some point. Kurodo is his name.
Okay. I just kept writing mustache in my notes.
The bit seems to be that he's trying to explain what happened but can't. Like he keeps going in circles. So this is the explanation. This is like the comedy equivalent of somebody not being able to get to the point while their friend is being shot in the next room.
Yeah.
Yep.
So they're just going in circles like, well, tell us what's going on. Well, I can't tell you what's going on. You keep interrupting me. Well, just tell us. Well, I can't. And it just, wow, it's stupid.
Yeah, it's like functionally broken who's on first.
Yeah.
I wrote that. It's like they're doing who's on first while someone is being executed in the other room.
Yeah, like Kuroda for some reason notices everyone's gone before they even are eating, and this sits there doing nothing until after they're done eating because they're just enjoying their meal.
Yeah, it's a good meal.
It's It's real bad.
So they're like, okay, we all have to go back to the mansion. Fucking Dragon Ball movie time. Everybody get in the plane. Ichigo and Renji, you go ahead because you can use Flash Step. You'll be faster. You be like our forward guard, whatever. Fucking go. We cut back to Kariya and the groom are fighting. She gets blasted by her own fireballs because these stands can do fucking friendly fire. Holy shit, she is incompetent. Even Kariya is like, come on. He's like, you came here to kill me and this is what you have? Kariya fucking fills time by talking about controlling the doll, personal balance, blah, 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 blah.
If you're not strong enough, the doll won't obey you.
You've lost your harmony. I'm surprised your doll even can be summoned. Blah, blah, blah. Okay, then he turns on like creep mode.
Yeah.
And he explains that Groomer is the only Bount that has a maternal power.
Yes. Bounts can't have descendants. It is truly special to be a Bount like you. You have maternal power.
I recover from stroking out enough to write down this note about the conversation they have. And Kari's like, look at that kid with the glasses. You groomed him really easily because you're a mommy GF.
Yeah.
Yeah, this set was great where it became a thing of I need to figure out what made Field tweet. You ever watch an anime and then just start screaming at one line?
That's what it was. And then Kari's like, hey, you want to see something interesting? And starts strangling her.
Ooh.
Ichigo and Renji show up. And Richard Epcar and Maki block the way. I'm like, no, we're gonna keep you from his character's name is Koga, but fuck you, I'm just gonna keep saying Richard Epcar.
Yeah, we struggle for the name, and I'm like, whatever. I'm just gonna write Richard Epcar in these notes.
None of these characters deserve to have their names remembered. So,
What are you talking about? Kariya is great.
Yeah, he is.
But yeah, no one else.
So,
Yeah.
Kariya is strangling Mommy GF, and he's like, oh, want to see something cool? And then crushes her seal. And then the doll goes nuts and like starts to explode. Her fire doll.
Yeah.
Gerter.
Gerta.
Yeah, Gerta.
Yeah.
And then Kari's like, also look at my douchebag tribal tattoo. That's because I fused with my doll, so I'm a super Chad.
Yeah.
They didn't want to have the main villain of this thing have a weird stand.
Yeah, he's a Game Boy Advance SP. He's ready to go.
Then Mommy GF is like, okay, I guess it's time for my Chaozu move where I self-sacrifice. So her fire doll turns blue and rushes over to her, and she enters mommy mode and hugs it, and it becomes like a blue light and then turns into an infant and goes into her womb. And then she fuses with it and becomes like Fire Mommy.
I did not expect this turn in one episode.
I wish anything he said was inaccurate.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not using hyperbole. I'm being very literal.
Oh, yeah. No, there's no hyperbole here at all.
What a great follow-up to the Soul Society arc.
They start to have a really bad Dragon Ball fight.
Yeah.
It lasts for 3 seconds before Kari just goes lol and shoves his hand through her. Ishida screams, no, don't die. You bought me so much Discord Nitro. Kariya like absorbs her power and summons a big glyph in the sky. And you're like, what's he going to do with these big glyph? And he uses it to summon mosquitoes?
Well, he makes a red platform using her energy, which has a runes carved on it.
It's a big glyph. Yeah, it's a big glyph.
And out of that drops eggs. Which immediately hatch into these fucking Yu Yu Hakusho demon mosquitoes. I was worried that it would be identical.
But
I'd start having a stroke.
Yep.
And then Bob's making jokes about it, which gets me even more worried.
It's like, what if they're all controlled by the teacher at the high school?
Secretly, this wiki page told me everything.
That's the end of the episode. So we get Guide to Soul Reapers.
Golden.
Golden.
Chief Commander, Yamamoto, the old man in Soul Society, summoned Captain Kyoraku, for a meeting, but fell asleep standing up before he got there because he's old.
But
Whoa.
Yeah, my note reads old.
Episode 80. After we watch somebody get fucking their chest opened up and like absorbed, we open with wacky mod soul shit. With all the mod souls are on Ichigo's bed, and Kon is bickering with Ririn and calls himself the mascot. Kon says there's too much population in this room, so we need to do some genocide. We have to kill half the mod souls. Ichigo just shows up and steps on him and ends the wacky scene.
Yeah.
Thank God.
Ichigo's moping. I'm not Ichigo. Ishida's moping around because he's not going to get sloppy toppy from his mommy GF now. He's moping around Urahara's house because that's where everyone fucking lives now, I guess.
Yes.
They gotta keep him safe.
The Bount detectors are like, we can't sense anything anymore. We get yet another scene, which is really common in this arc, where everybody sits around and goes, for 5 minutes.
Yeah.
That's why I wrote brain death.
Time to go back. He's like,
wait.
okay.
Okay, so there's an important line here that gave me a stroke.
Uh-oh.
Urahara goes, the new dolls are very important to the Bounts and are made with chi.
Yeah, he says chi and like it's fucking Reiatsu or whatever.
Yeah,
so I'm like,
Reishi, right?
Yeah, and then I go,
It's both.
there's chi and bleach.
And then immediately follows
because
that
it's
up
in
with
this episode.
then immediately follows up with, we need to go to the mansion again.
Yeah, we have time to go back to the fucking mansion.
Ren, he's like, I'm gonna send Renji on a recon to the mansion. I'm like, I'm gonna have a fucking panic attack. I'm writing brain death in my notes.
Or he sends Renji to the fucking mansion. He turns to Chad and Orihime and like, you guys are useless, so live here for a while because they'll attack you at home and you'll just get fucking owned. You're already the D team. He's like, Ichigo, you go home and think of some way to defeat the Bount, which really fucking feels like not understanding Ichigo's skill set at all.
Just fill the episode, Ichigo. Okay, I'll try.
Ichigo was the guy that thought that you could only attack 5 times in a row.
It's okay. He was taught that.
That's true. So maybe Urahara isn't a great mentor.
I mean, they're reinforcing that plenty.
Yeah,
Oh,
he
yeah.
just invented chi.
The mod souls continue to bicker while Ichigo copes about everything. Rukia is still living in Ichigo's closet, and she's like, oh, this is just the most comfortable place to sleep. Kon attempts to run the bit he always runs, and she just fucking pile drives him into the ground with a book. Ririn says, looks like even death won't cure stupidity, but Kon isn't dead, so that line doesn't make any sense. I feel like the writers forgot what mod souls were.
Yeah.
So Ichigo picks Ririn and Kon up and starts like yelling at them. And Ichigo's sister walks in and just makes this like face, like it's the most disappointed face I've ever seen. And this is and not like tomboy, like abrasive tsundere sister, like the housewife sister.
Yeah. The one where it's like,
So she's
no,
like-
you could never be disappointed.
She's like, no, you're fucking, no, God, my brother's fucking insane. Everybody is mean to Ichigo for a while. It's like they go around the room
That's
and
pretty
bully
good.
him. Ichigo's hollow alarm goes off and him and Rukia run off to get them out of this episode for 15 seconds.
Yes, they need to leave for a small amount of time, but not too much.
Yeah, it's the moment I wake up and then it ends in 10 seconds.
Yeah, they're like, okay, the Bounts want people with strong spiritual energy, so we have to do something to protect Ichigo's family. So the mod souls start setting up home alone traps. Like they have a basket on a stick and like CDs which launch light out that attack Bounce, because once again these characters were vampires and then they just changed one word but kept all the exact same like mythology.
It's a good call that they're doing all this to stop the Bounts from attacking them. A thing the Bounts have ever done.
Yeah, they haven't done that yet, so it feels like they read ahead in the script.
Every other time they're like, what if the Bounts strike at us? It's like, that's never happened. You've always intervened when the Bounts are doing something else somewhere else.
Yeah, Hanataro shows up to be instantly owned by the trap and falls face first into the cake and comes out Joker mode.
Yeah.
Yes.
See, this was extra funny because earlier in the episode, Cone said, "Why so serious all of a sudden?" And I was like, "Oh."
You just said Conan Joker makeup.
And I have no, like, I've never encountered like a filler episode inside a filler arc before.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're strong.
Naruto has some of those, right?
I mean, there are arcs that are entirely filler episodes, so yes.
Well, see, this is filler within filler. It's like darkness within darkness.
Yeah, sometimes in the middle of your filler arc, sometimes you want to do a comedy episode, and then I have to write brain death double down on my fucking notes.
Ichigo, there's Apollo. Oh no, go fight it. And then it's like the half-minute hero segment. He just runs from the left side of the screen to the right, bumps into it once, and it flies away. That's this episode. Like, why
so the mod souls, while they're gone, the mod souls are like, we need to come up with a fucking insane plan to prove to them how useful our traps are. So we're going to put on these suits that look vaguely like the mosquitoes and pretend to be owned by our own traps so they understand how good and cool these traps are.
And this is a moment where I have to come to terms with the last episode ended with all these demon eggs hatching and all these crazy demon bugs flying around. And then we're not going to act like that's a problem this episode.
Yeah, it's fine. You don't worry about it.
Don't you worry about it.
Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
So they show up in the bug suits and are like, and they basically go ooga booga booga at Ichigo and Rukia. Rukia immediately tries to kill them. She immediately just shoots a Hado at them. They're like, oh, fuck, we better take these suits off. Oh, fuck, we can't get the suits off, and our voice can't get out of the suits.
Yeah.
This is now going to be the rest of this episode.
Yes.
Yep.
Rukia keeps chasing them while shooting fireballs at them. Everybody's running around looking for the mod souls in the suits. Cone swaps with Ichigo and gets in his body and immediately gets electrocuted by one of the traps. Ha 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 ha. Yuri Lowenthal friend is harassing the Afro Soul Reaper in another scene who is suddenly back.
Yes.
Yeah, I guess that we just have to assume he never left. He's just doing his own thing.
He's always standing directly right there.
Rukia like chases into frame, shooting at these dolls. They dodge past the Afro Soul Reaper, and then she just shoots like 8 more shots at him.
Yeah.
Like it's really conveyed like she's just shooting at him. There's no reason, like this isn't her missing trying to aim at the dolls.
Yeah. I support it.
Yuri Lowenthal friend can see Rukia for some reason, and the guy she's shooting at, and he's like, I guess Rukia is really into war games. She plays Fortnite. And then moves on with his day.
Yeah, he's just used to this.
They loop back around to Ichigo's house. Hanataro disabled all the traps and then runs into the door. Renji also shows up and everybody's like, oh, we have to kill these mod soul doll things, even though they don't look anything like those bugs. We're really, really stupid in this episode. Then Ririn and the guy, the mustache, who I've already forgot his actual fucking name. I just said it earlier and I've already forgotten it.
Yeah, it's that bad.
Gordon.
They do like a Gurren Lagann Gatai and become like a big monster.
Yeah.
Yes.
Because they can do this, I guess.
Yes.
They own Renji and Ichigo really fast, and then summon a bunch of illusion bunnies to tickle Rukia into submission.
Yeah, the fact that let me see. I had notes for exactly what she did. I thought it was really funny. Okay, they make Ichigo see his younger sister tied to their chest so he doesn't attack. And then Rukia just sees a bunch of rabbits. That's fucking hilarious.
And they start tickling her.
Yes.
Like they pile on her and start tickling her.
And they look like her drawing. Like that.
Yes.
That's the best part. This is the only good part of this episode.
Wacky shenanigans happen for a little bit, and the dolls get owned and teleport away. And then Noba, the ninja one, who has gotten into his actual body, like shows up and explains the conceit of the stupid fucking episode.
Yes.
then everybody goes to Urahara's shop and they talk about how fucking stupid this episode was.
Yep.
It sure was.
And then we cut to the final trap, which was like a millstone, like hanging from the ceiling to fall on somebody. It fell on Ichigo's dad.
Yep.
He's
the rice grinder just crushes him.
Good.
I have the direct quote. Urahara says, "Oh, sorry about that. We probably shouldn't use these suits anymore." I'm just like, God damn it!
This room exploded.
We shouldn't use these suits anymore. Also, those traps, we should take them all down. Let's pretend this episode didn't happen.
Sorry about this episode. We should just pretend none of this ever happened. And I'm like, oh my God.
And it will be very apparent at the opening of the next episode.
Yep.
Illustrated Guide to Soul Reapers.
Golden.
So Maki, who is not the Maki who is with the villains, but is rather Maki, who is Kenpachi's subordinate, is like, hey boss, who are we gonna send to the human world? He's like, should we send Yachiru? No. Should we send Ikaku, bald guy? No. We should send a peacock guy because he's working. You can work whenever you want, but Ikaku and Yachiru are goofing off. That's important.
Yep. It's real important.
Which I'm like, which like, man, Kenpachi seems like an actually decent boss. Episode 81.
Golden.
I wish.
No, none of these episodes are golden.
Platinum.
It's raining. Some chubby dude gets out of his car and is talking on the phone, and he gets attacked by all the Bount mosquitoes. They drain his soul and he turns to dust. Some ninjas show up and get owned by the mosquitoes. Like, these guys suck.
Yeah, the Stealth Force is really owned here.
Yeah. This is the first thing where they're not like supported by someone else, so you just get to see them in their element, just jobbing.
Yeah. My whole note is the Stealth Force sucks. It's very disappointing.
We cut to Ichigo's school. Everybody relevant is on the roof. That last episode sure just didn't happen, huh?
Yep.
We get another one of those fantastic scenes where everybody sits around and talks about how they don't know anything.
Yeah, I didn't write a single note about this scene.
Right, I just wrote they were on the rooftop, and then, oh man, my favorite whole thing in this whole set of episodes.
Oh yeah.
They mentioned that Urahara is making a super Bount sensor so that the plot can resume, so everybody just has to wait until then.
Oh good, another single-use item.
We cut to like the establishing shot of Dr. Weird's castle.
Yes! Gentlemen, I present to you Kickstart!
Kariya, like we cut to Kariya and the Bounts hanging out in like a Castlevania cave.
Yeah, we're about to say, why are they in the Aztec temple the Pillar Men were in?
It's really fucking good.
It's just like, this is a random out. This is still in Japan? What?
Kariya is giving a speech that now the plot is actually going to really start for real. Shut up. This time, actually, we promise.
To summarize, he says, "These Betos collect high-quality souls! Something, 10 times as powerful! Drink it!"
Yeah, the mosquitoes keep the souls fresh and have better efficiency. Basically, the Bounts will drink the souls and power up. Kariya pulls like a syringe out of him and pours it in a wine glass, and it looks like blood because once again, these are vampires, but they don't want them to be for some reason.
Hey, it doesn't look like blood. It looks like Orange Kickstarter.
Yeah,
like
It literally looks like radioactive Kickstart, and
Yeah,
I was
about to
Yeah,
say, it's like infected
they
piss.
recolored it in post.
They don't have that much time to fucking animate a head feel.
and then that's when the orange hair Bount just goes, "Wow, I'm not sure about this."
The orange. Yeah, the orange-haired Bount is like, I don't want to do this, but I hung out all the time basically knowing the plan was to do something like this. Nobody involved with this knows how to write.
Yeah, this is really rough. I think it's really weird that we're getting a scene where we're charging up all the Bounts 10 times when last time we met them, they were already powered up to fight the heroes. It seems
and none
absurd.
of them fought. None of them fought, except Koga, sort of, for a second. So we don't really have a grasp of their abilities anyway. It's just to build false tension.
The only way it's going to make sense is if they end up having to get killed by Bankai somehow. When they say, okay, do it anyway.
Orange hair guy, like, it feels weird for him to be the character that's like, no, I don't want to do this. That feels like it should be Richard Epcar's role because he's like the more moral second in command guy. But nobody involved in this knows how to write. We get the insane lore element that Old Man Bount used to look younger, but he started eating living souls, then stopped. So that stuff about time not moving for the Bounts isn't even right.
Oh, it's that he stopped? Because when I heard it, I thought it was that he just did it way too much and that made him age faster.
No. See, I took he said, no, I did that a long time ago, which makes me think that he just stopped. Yeah, and that made it happen.
Okay.
Right, I think that it happened while he was doing it, and he's very much there. He's Dracula.
Yeah, he's Dracula, man.
So yeah, God, it's so dumb. They'll probably never touch on this again.
They all power up, and who fucking cares? What is the goal? We still don't know what they want. Why do they give a shit about becoming more powerful and fighting these people? Also, why are they doing this in Japan? If they were somewhere else, there wouldn't be people trying to stop them.
Well, I don't know. They're eventually going to go to Waco Mundo, remember?
I assume this is just like the movie X, where the world is Japan.
Yeah, there's nowhere you can go get away from it.
No fucking talk to me about X.
But besides, they can't go to Europe. We know what's up over there since thanks to Burn the Witch.
Oh, that's true. So Mabashi, that's the orange-haired one. He's like, I don't want to do this. So Kariya's like, well, you're entitled to your opinion, and then hits him through a wall and starts stomping on him. He's like, but next time you prepare to voice your opinion, no, I'll just kill you.
Yeah.
And then he shoves the syringe down his throat and makes him drink the goo.
Yes.
They really try to hype up Kariya as much as possible. He is like crushed like 3 people in the past like 4 episodes.
Yeah, they really want him to seem big and strong. They kind of have to after Aizen soloed the entire cast, but it's really pitiful in comparison.
I mean, it's much better than Aizen. Ichigo wasn't depressed after losing to Aizen.
Yeah, that's because he was almost in half and bleeding out on the floor. So we cut to Soul Society. They're having a meeting about how the Stealth Force got super owned, so we have to send real characters.
Yeah.
Hitsugeya, Toshiro Hitsugeya, is like, we're going to send Rangiku, 69man, Peacock guy, and the blonde guy whose name I forget because he doesn't really have any defining qualities.
This is great. He just remembered Rangiku. Otherwise, verbatim, same notes.
Yeah, I know.
69-man peacock blonde dork.
How do you forget about Kira?
Yeah,
he's got
Kira.
a great microphone.
Yeah, he works at the Burger King drive-thru.
I thought that was the one with the shades, which is a different character.
No, this is Heavy Swordman is the one we always joked about having the bad microphone.
Okay.
Yeah, where his power, as I described it toward the end of the set, is he just makes you fatter.
I forgot that was his fucking thing to
and
make
you
you
were
heavy.
very scared of what I was trying to imply.
I'm like, wait, what do you mean he makes you fatter? That's not a thing. I think I would have remembered if there was some weird fucking thing like that in Bleach. Oh, right, he makes you heavy. Okay.
This scene has the subtext, we're not going to send anyone who could instantly solve the problem, even though those characters exist. So we're just going to send you like third stringers.
Yeah, we could have just dropped Kenpachi and solved this fucking problem.
Or Hitsugeya could have gone, considering he organized this, but he's like, no.
I assume there's some weird thing of like, we can't send captains. But they don't say it, so I can't tell.
Peacock whines about having to go to the human world because he's a whiner.
You're so deflated.
We cut to Urahara having a meeting with Soifon. Yoruichi went back to Soul Society because we had to get rid of everyone who could easily resolve this plot.
Yep.
God, I just said that thing about they can't send this captain. Here, Soifon is just in the human world to report, which is insane.
It's okay. Soifon's been upgraded, I guess, from captain that's super powerful to mailman.
It's like, no, we can't have anybody who could one-shot the villains. We have to put all of them in, like, a jail. Soifon calls the shop a rundown shack, and the assistant gets offended. Ishida is watching through a crack in the wall, and Uru is like, Ishida, you're a depressed cuck. You need to go back to bed. And then he does. Everybody meets up at night and is like, we gotta look for the Bount because they're made of magic juice that we can't detect. We need to split up so we can all get bodied individually.
Okay.
Very smart.
Yeah.
Koba and Kuroto are in their bodies. Ririn is not. Kuroto's like, I have to be in my body so I can sexually harass Orihime.
Yep.
Very cool.
Meanwhile, all the Bount are drinking the kickstart and powering up. It's very obviously like a metaphor for some sort of drug. Kariya, I misremembered events. Kariya forces the guy to drink it now after beating him up and calling him a bitch.
Yes.
Our heroes all split up and they're having little conversations about what the others are doing. Orihime and Kuroto are like, I wonder what Chad and Noba are doing. They don't have a conversation because they're both quiet. Renji and Kon bicker a little bit. Then Renji hears a kid screaming and is like, oh, I better go do something about that. We cut back to the shop and Ishida's there seething and wants to go do something. And Urahara's like, you can't actually fucking do anything. Like, you don't have any powers anymore. They have the vague implication that all this is a triple ruse and what the Bount actually want is for Ishida to get his powers back so they can utilize them somehow. That's the implication. Who knows if that actually will happen or is just
another string
fucking
there.
nothing. Ishida runs off crying. Renji's fighting the bugs. He cuts up the bugs, but then they become more bugs, and there's like a little intermediary shot of Kariya being like, hey, they're in trouble if they think they can just cut them.
Which is weird, because cutting them seemed to work fine. It just more showed up. Like, they don't actually show them.
The implication is that they just, all the pieces become more.
Right, but they don't show that at all.
They don't show that at all.
That costs money.
What they do show contradicts that because he cuts them up and then you see more coming over the horizon.
Yeah, they completely convey it wrong because he says he's going to find out what happens when they're damaged. So my read of the scene was if some are damaged, the other ones like have a brain map of any time others are damaged and run toward it.
Yeah, and that's a thing. Like, you know, if something dies, others can find the dead one.
Yeah,
that's a thing with some animals.
Yeah, so that's what I assumed that scene was.
That's too smart.
Yeah, exactly. That's why it was confusing, and I was like, "That's what they're doing." And then it was bleach filler, so I'm like, or they don't know what they're doing.
Well, I have to assume that's what it is because that's what every cut implies.
It's the fact he said he's gonna find out what happens when you kill them. Like it's the master plan. It's like the other ones will find you.
They immediately magnetize,
and then they'll get ADD and fly away next episode because this
Shut up!
fucking
Don't talk
sucks.
about that part.
They're really lucky that, you know, the one was killed by Renji and not by Ichigo, who could just laser all of them immediately. It's like, oh no, there are more.
It's okay. Ichigo's Getsuga Tensho can only be used once every 5 episodes.
I forgot that it got downgraded to a freaking DBZ movie, Kamehameha, into the filler.
Yeah. But we have one more thing in this episode. It's the illustrated guide to Soul Reapers.
Golden.
Asadora Drugstore Edition.
Yeah. Women be shopping. That's it.
Go to CVS.
She's like, you know why I come here? And I'm like, I don't fucking care, man.
Rangiku is shopping for makeup in Soul Society because she doesn't like makeup in the human world.
It's not good enough.
Hitsugaya shows up and tells her to get the fuck moving, and that's the whole joke.
That's it. And she had 2 baskets full of fucking makeup.
Cosmetics, yeah.
Yeah.
Because women can't be packing light.
No. Not her.
Guest writer Akira Toriyama. Episode 82. We're there with the Bounts. Kari is like, all you Bounts go out and make actual things happen in the story.
Go fight or something. I don't care. Make episode.
We're calling all the bugs back because we don't want to deal with that right now with the story. Except not all the bugs, only some, because nobody here can. Fuck you. Cuck Bount is like now obviously a meth addict and is like rocking back and forth.
My brain's like, which one's Cuck Bount?
Renji got fucking
about how like terribly the scientist Bount What were you saying, Dan? That
He's so insecure.
He's super insecure about everything.
Yeah, I'm like, can I get a line from you that isn't you just screaming your insecurities at the top of your lungs?
Everyone else is drinking their kickstart to become powerful. He doesn't, and they're like, "This is great. I'm so much more powerful." He's like, "I'm glad all the time I spent was not for nothing."
Yeah, everyone's like,
Good, with this, we'll be able to do it. And the next one's like, we're gonna kick their ass. And he's like, wow, I'm really glad this worked. Otherwise, I would have wasted so much time. It's like, what is with this guy?
See, I read it like he was involved in making it, so he's like, I knew it would work, but it surpassed even my expectations. My genius knows no bounds. That's how I took it.
Like, he said that. Then he said this other line that made it go, excuse me?
And he does this a few times where he speaks his internal thoughts.
Yes.
It's like that Clone High character that like the other two hype men for this energy drink just scream how outrageous it is, and he goes, my son won't look at me in the eye anymore.
Yeah, he's the only one where I'm concerned for him.
Yeah.
Of all these jobbers, the scientist one is like the most jobber.
Yes. 100%.
Which is shocking because the other jobber is already dead. The dude with the clip-on facial hair. Never forget what happened to him.
So Renji got his ass kicked by the bugs because he's a fucking loser. So he's laying there on top of the kid, like bleeding out. We cut to Aruru and Jinta deliver the new super Bount detector to Ichigo. It's like a pink boxing headgear with a gem on it.
Yeah, I remember this time they did it in season 1. Yeah, it's back.
And Ichigo has to say like hero of justice, shining beauty, or whatever the fuck to turn it on. Then it just starts dragging him head first towards the Bount. He gets drugged through a chain link fence immediately.
It's pretty good.
Then Aruru and Jinta and Rukia do shtick for a second. Then we cut to Yuri Lowenthal friend walking around alone, like at night. He bought like snacks at the convenience store.
Yeah, he bought a giant Swiss roll.
Yeah, he did.
I was jealous.
We've all been there.
I wish I could go there, but I have to watch Bleach instead.
So he sees the bugs. He gets stabbed by a bug and is like, oh man, this dream is crazy.
Okay. It's actually a little funnier than this because he sees the bugs. He runs. They all pass and he goes, well, thank God that's over. And then he gets stabbed by one stray bug. I'm like, what is this, a comedy routine?
Yeah, it's right in his chest, too. It's
pretty
real bad.
He falls down and they all pile on him and start slurping on him. And Ichigo shows up and like cuts them apart, but they don't become more, nor do additional bugs show up. So,
Yeah,
and
they were recalled.
Don't worry about it.
They were recalled, but these bugs were still around.
Yeah, okay, they were defective units. Now they're dead.
No, it's like in an RTS game when you tell your units to walk somewhere and they start getting picked off one by one. Well, you didn't tell them to survive. Just walking.
Richard Epcar shows up and he's like, you can't save him. Now we're going to fight. He summons his doll and it's a big dumb spider centaur now because it got powered up. They clash once and the super Bount detector is immediately destroyed. It lasted all of 30 seconds.
It took 2 episodes of setup.
Orihime shows up with Rukia and Jinta and Aruru, and they get attacked by the green hair girl Bount because of course the girl Bount has to fight the female characters.
But don't forget, this is the girl Bount non-maternal.
Yes, the non-maternal Bount.
Non-maternal. This is the non-mommy GF one.
Yes.
Her doll is a sword and a fan because we got tired of giving them stands.
Yep.
Yeah, it's got a mouth, so the sword's got a mouth like the character from Dave the Barbarian.
And the fan has an eye.
Ugh.
Yeah.
And then Ruki's like, everyone run away so I can fight without a sword by myself against this person we know nothing about.
Yeah, it made a lot of sense.
So Rukia gets owned, and then Orihime blocks with her barrier and is like, I'm staying so we can both be humiliated. Kuroto is like, I'm here too.
And then the cut and setup of a line was so confusing, Dan had to rewind it twice. Because he's like, 3 against 1 will make it easier. Rukia says, listen, cut cuts to another shot as if she never spoke.
Because there's a dialogue thing where it's like, or Hime says something, Mustache says something, and then Rukia just goes from off screen, listen, and then we cut to a different angle where she's not talking and someone else is, and I'm like, what happened? What?
Yeah, what's fucking going on here?
And it's funny because her mouth wasn't even like in frame in the other one, so they didn't need to ADR that.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what was under that.
We cut back to Ichigo fighting Richard Epcar. Ichigo's fighting the spider doll. It just has guns now.
Yeah, it does. It's funny.
It like shoots a steel web and attaches to like a building in the process of being constructed, like it's the girder frame. And I guess it starts absorbing chunks of the steel girders, which it starts fucking shooting at him like a machine gun.
See, this is when I was like, Ichigo needs to use his head. He needs to trick her and be like, hey, I'm going to light jet fuel on you. And if she's stupid, she'll be like, I'll be safe. Jet fuel can't melt steel beams.
Richard Epcar is like monologuing at Ichigo while this happens. He's like, Yuri Lowenthal friend is going to die. Most of his soul is gone. Time to re-explain the conceit of this plot to Ichigo.
Ichigo is like me, just like, no, please.
No.
Richard, Yuri Lowenthal friend Kago. I'm just gonna start calling him Kago because that's his fucking name.
Yeah.
Yeah, they
This
say
is,
it
this is
enough.
also the
He's
this
a
is
real
also
character.
the point.
Yeah.
This is also the point where I started writing it down in the notes because I got tired of writing Yuri Lowenthal. Kago is like, Ichigo, run. So Ichigo flashes back to times when Kago was on model.
Yes. Yep. God.
Then Ichigo like unlocks the basic competence power up and just uses Getsuka Tensho to cut the spider in half. A bunch of girders fall off the building, and then the spider just immediately reconstitutes. Then it wraps up Ichigo in steel web, and he pops like a balloon.
Yes. We were scared.
Yeah, I was like, what happened? He just inflated and exploded with light? What is going on?
We don't get to know why yet because we cut to Ururu with Chad and Koba. They're like, you guys need to do something about something. And then old man Bount appears sitting on a Dracula-esque throne for some reason.
Yeah, I hope we get to see his fight where he disappears in beams of light every 10 seconds.
Yeah, it's very exciting. I'm so excited for it. Can't wait to see it next episode.
But luckily Ririn saved Ichigo with her illusion. I was like, we gotta run. He's like, no, I'll save Kago no matter what. Richard Epcar shows up and is like, you're doomed and so are all your friends. None of you have any chance of surviving this. We're all super powerful. We're gonna kick your ass. The spider makes like a big steel web around everything. Ichigo is almost immediately caught in the steel web and drops his sword. Not a very good performance from Ichigo in these sets of episodes.
Yeah,
No.
tragically, no.
The spider picks up the sword and is going to stab him, and it's the funniest bit of animation in these episodes.
Yes.
It looks really bad.
It's almost as good as when the spider opened a door in a previous set of episodes.
Nothing's gonna be that good.
Yeah, honestly.
So Ichigo's about to die, so Joker mode Ichigo wakes up and just catches the sword and immediately starts beating their ass.
Yep.
After briefly owning them and keep saving Ichigo from imminent death, Ichigo rips the mask off his face again and takes control back. And honestly, I'm on Hollow Ichigo's side because Hollow Ichigo is like, you haven't won the fight yet, dipshit. Wait until I win before you do this.
I did one
And
shot.
Ichigo's like, no.
I didn't even do an energy attack or anything.
You know, it's like, can't we just kill Richard F.
I
character? Can't we just be done with that?
I basically just knocked the gun out of their hands. They're already reaching for it again.
If you do not kill them fast enough, the next episode will be so much worse.
Richard Epcar starts to lecture Ichigo with some shit that doesn't matter about how he doesn't have harmony.
I wrote what I'm going to insist is verbatim.
Okay.
He goes,
Okay.
You can't control your power because you have no strong heart or mind. Anyway, my balls still form this lady.
Yeah, he just instantly resummons the spider because this plot is exhausting. Yeah. Then Jinta finds Renji passed out with the kid he was protecting. Illustrated Guide to Soul Reapers.
Golden.
Ichigo Ikaku, the bald guy, is at the barber. Yachiru is heckling him and is like, I'm gonna take this marker and highlight where your face stops and your head starts because you don't have any hair. Komakura is also at the barber, the big fox man, and she tries to do it to him too. Laugh.
Ha.
Episode 83.
Oh,
episode
boy.
83.
Golden.
We saw the preview for it and went, oh fuck.
Yeah, my note
Yeah.
says next time on Bleach, everything sucks.
No, don't worry about it. Episode 83. We get one of those money-saving opening recaps where it just shows like parts of the previous episode.
Yeah, we were skipping.
Then immediately cuts to Rukia getting kicked in the stomach by the girl Bount and getting sent into a brick wall. Kuroto is like, I'm going to be cool and help, and changes into Renji, and I'm like, that's wrong.
Yeah, really bad choice here. I don't know what we're thinking.
Like even more incompetent Renji, which is weird.
Rukia is like, okay, I'm gonna cast Dragon Slave, but Orihime and Kuroto, you guys need to hold him off while I charge Dragon Slave.
This seems
So,
really insane that they're like, no, we need this long casting time. This spell definitely work. It's like, Ruki, I don't think a spell's ever worked for you. What are you doing?
Yeah, but it worked for Aizen that one time, so
Right? But I think there's a little bit of different power level here.
it worked when her brother used it like a Quake railgun and made a hole in Ichigo's chest.
Right. Another person who is not Rukia.
So Kuroto gets owned really hard. There's a really funny zoom on the girl Bounce face. We cut to Richard Epcar standing over Ichigo, and he's like, I'm going to use the most fearsome attack of all on you, Ichigo. I'm going to go into a fucking flashback.
It's going to be short, though, right? Of course not.
This will be even more painful than every other flashback in the series, because I'm a filler character who will never appear again.
Yeah, that's why I said once this filler's done, we have to decide which one had the better flashback.
So Richard Epcar is a proud trad. He's living out in the woods in like a cottage. Kariya shows up and he's like, I want you to have this apprentice. His name's Kane. Deep, isn't it?
Shut up.
It's funny.
Epcar's like, no, I don't want to have an apprentice. And Kariya's like, come on. And Epcar's like, fine, okay.
Okay.
Kariya's like, I wrote this book on how to summon a doll because some Bounts don't have one for some reason. What is this fucking plot?
Yeah, I don't know.
Kane's a stupid asshole and is like, fuck you, Richard Epcar. So Richard Epcar just starts beating his ass and is then like, if you're this weak, you wouldn't survive for 2 seconds out in the world. And I'm like, I don't know. There's not an 8-foot tall guy wailing on you anywhere else. We get like a montage of Kane working as a peasant on working like a peasant on Richard Epcar's farm. They go to town and sell all the potatoes that they were growing, and Koga and Richard Epcar uses the money to buy Kane a coat. Kane's like, oh no, somebody gave me something. I'm a poorly written character.
You have to look vaguely like Ichigo, just so you know.
Yes, yeah.
Because isn't that deep?
I wonder if at some point Koga will betray Kariya and maybe or something. Maybe the something will happen in this story eventually. Some thugs jump them for their money. One of them punches Koga, and he's just like, and Koga just stands there and is like, I'm 8 feet tall. And the thug's like, I'll be going now.
Thug's
And,
like, fucking, what is this guy? And I'm like, 8 feet tall. What did you... Have you never punched a huge dude before?
Yeah, I know. He's 8 feet tall and like 500 pounds or something. Just mostly muscle.
Yeah.
Like, what are you doing?
So the thug backs off, and then the thug with a stick hits Richard Epcar with the stick, and it just snaps. And then they slink off defeated. Then later, they all come back with more guys with like axes and knives and a fucking rifle. I thought this was like the 1200s.
I guess not.
Koga summons the spider and she chases them away. She doesn't kill any of them, which is where I thought this was going. Like, it seems like if you want people to not hassle you out in the woods, you don't let people who see your magic powers live.
Yeah.
Then Kane says, wow, that spider's really cool. And then the spider cuts down a tree for no reason.
Verbatim, he goes, incredible. So this is your doll?
Yeah, your doll? What's up? You want to pick up some dame, she?
Yeah.
Koga's Richard Epcar's like, Kane, don't worry about it. You'll have a doll someday. So Kane punches and kicks the most bizarre-looking training dummy in history.
Real quick, you are a chosen human. You are a Bount, is what he says to Kane, and I lost it. I was like, man, this sucks.
Yep.
Yeah, I wrote a note that I don't know if it'll end up being right later. I wrote at the top of this episode, Dan will give this set a 0. We'll see.
Kane is like, man, Richard Epcar, I sure wish I was a cool guy like you. And so Richard Epcar's like, here's the book Kariya wrote on summoning a doll. Do not attempt to do it alone.
Next scene.
But you can keep
So
it,
of course he does.
Oh, wow.
Next scene, he's already reciting the shit from the book. It's the most comical shit ever.
He summons Pickle Rick, and then Pickle Rick kills him instantly with green radioactive fire. That is what happened.
Funniest shit in the world.
Funniest goddamn thing I've ever seen.
And so he dies and turns to dust, and we cut to Kariya and Koga at his grave.
Yeah.
And Kariya is crying, and
It's
it's like,
funny as hell.
Yes.
And Kari's like,
you were like, wait, is he crying?
yeah. And Kari's like, I wanted to show Kane the break of the dawn. And I'm like, are you vampires or not? Shut the fuck up.
You're gonna be asking this like at the very end too.
But I don't know, guys. This is actually really deep because we implied that this was all set up by Kariya to get Richard Epcar to work with them.
Yeah.
It's so deep.
Because he's like, when we're separate like this, nothing works out. We need to be a group. And Koga goes, oh, okay.
Yeah, Kariya asks Koga to marry him, and Koga agrees. Koga's like, sure.
He's like, only if you buy me some Sennheiser headphones, Kariya, that I can just wear forever.
So Koga wasn't saying this to anyone. He was just staring into space for like 20 minutes while Ichigo was writhing on the ground.
Yes.
Like many Bleach flashbacks.
Then he says, one Bount getting stronger makes all Bount stronger. That's totally something we didn't just make up right now and will never be relevant.
Maybe he was speaking metaphorically.
Yeah, because I didn't retain that line at all, so I have to assume.
That's not what he says, but okay. That's like he really strongly implies they're all connected somehow. Then he's like, okay, time to die, Ichigo. And then Izuru Kira, the blonde guy, shows up to save Ichigo, and I'm like, you can't send a jobber to help. Come on.
And I literally went, no, this is great. He's just gonna make the doll fat, and then she won't be able to do anything. She's just gonna hit it 3 times, and she won't be able to move, and then they can run.
I mean, they did have him job against like his perfect weakness.
Yes.
Like last time, I was like, I fight the person who's got a sword that turns to mist. Oh no.
Yeah, there's like no answer here.
Yeah, he jobbed to a woman in Bleach.
I really like that he just shows up and he goes, I'm from the court guard, Izuru Kira, and then it goes bomb bomb, and then it goes to be continued.
Yeah,
I'm like, this sucks.
letterboxes.
Illustrated Guide to Soul Reapers.
Golden.
Golden.
Tosin stands in a field talking to himself. It's a pun that doesn't translate the end.
Yeah, I can't speak Japanese, and that's my only note for this golden.
Is that really
So
what
those
that?
were our episodes. Yeah, that because it like there's like a translator's note even in the English version.
God.
It's like something he said means like bug that makes noise, and then it shows like 2 guys being like, man, those bugs are really noisy.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Alrighty.
Yeah, it's bad.
We made it through to the episodes, guys. Good job.
Yeah.
Which means it's time for the best segment, the one that's the slimmest pickings I've maybe ever seen.
Is this segment the one where we show that face, that feeling when no mommy powers image?
Sure, we can do that first.
That face is really good.
Thank you for finding a place for me to edit that in.
Okay.
I don't want to search very deeply on it.
I'm not feeling very maternal right now.
Oh, that's very unfortunate for you.
But the section actually is best dressed.
Oh,
Okay.
best dressed. Okay.
I'll let Dan lead.
Ooh. Oh, man. They're really good choices, actually. I have just enough to fill out if you guys had taken some, but you know what? I'm gonna take the dude I don't even know the name of. Episode 83, the intro showcases a dude from later in Bleach I don't even know the name of. He looks great. He looks like a cross between Lupin and that chick from Azoken.
When he popped out, I went, "What are you doing?"
Yes.
You just dropping new canon characters.
I can't blame him too much. This guy showed up in volume 1 of the manga in a random page.
What?
Yeah, it was a title spread with like all the characters. It was the first chapter.
Yeah,
because it was like, here's the title page with like all the characters you will see, and then Kuba's like, I'm just gonna put characters that I have decided and don't know what to do with the background. Maybe I'll use them at some point.
It was like, come on, you can't do that during this set.
But yeah, it's a mix of Lupin and Kanamori. It's really good. I like this design. Very excited to meet them. When will this end?
I know when it'll end, but I can't say a thing.
All right, Phil, you're up.
I'm gonna go with Koga in the flashback where he looks like Ryder from Fate Zero.
God, he does.
Fair. I'll go. I'm stealing Cone. Cone with the t-shirt and hat from the intro is really good.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It's very strong. He has a yo-yo or something, too. I don't know.
Oh, yeah. His hat's like sideways. He's got like a bandana thing hanging.
All right, KZ, what do you got?
I'm going to pick Desert Nomad Uryu.
So good.
He's got like some turban and like it looks like he either painted on his forehead or got a red gem or something going on. I'm like, this is great. He's got some sauce. I would love for him to do anything in this arc, but I guess he stored all his energy into this one cut for the intro.
Yes. He looks fucking awesome.
Yes.
There we go. We got some good picks here. I think the only one that was really like a little dire is Feels.
I don't know what you're talking about. He's powerful.
if someone stole the Uryu one, the only other one that I could think of off the top of my head is Rangiku was in the intro. She just wore a red dress and was drinking. That was about it.
Chad looked great at the beginning of episode 79 in the intro. He had the green shirt with the brown jacket and maroon pants. I thought that looked pretty nice. It was a good look.
Yeah.
I was sitting there. I was like, man, I should get a green shirt and a brown jacket to go with my maroon pants.
Yeah, you were talking about that.
There was another one that was in an outro, but I'm going to save that. You know, we store those nuts for winter.
All right, exactly. I got one more I could use, but no, it's fine.
It's too dangerous.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Dan. I need this from you.
Uh-huh.
Scale 1 to 10. How excited are you to watch more Bleach?
1.
Oh my God, that's rough.
It's broken me. This is so bad. The amount of times in these 5 episodes they go, here's this thing. We won't be needing it. But they wait 22 minutes. 22 minutes to do that.
Gotta be honest, that was the most doomed I felt watching Bleach was them going, we should probably never use these suits or traps ever again. And I went...
Anyways, here's this detector, hoping nothing goes wrong.
And it just breaks.
I'm lucky that I found that really funny at the end of that episode. And I didn't hate that episode
hilarious.
that much.
It was
compared to you guys.
It was like the 3rd time I was stabbed in these set of episodes. I was like, this sucks.
I thought it was hilarious, but I know in my heart of the filler I haven't seen that there's probably 18 of those bombs just like laying around.
Probably. Okay, Phil. Did you bring any trivia today?
No.
According to the director of this arc,
Oh no.
Bounts are named Bounts because they're meant to evoke vampires. By changing the first letter of the word count, the word most associated with vampires, the name Bount was created.
Oh my God.
Now we need to call whether or not it's bullshit.
Right?
Oh my God, this is the hardest this has ever been.
All right, Dan, what do you think? Do you think that's real?
No. I think Field made that up with the malice in his heart.
I'll go. It feels too thought out to be real, but I'm going to say, yeah, it's real.
Okay.
How about you, KZ?
That is the hackest thing we have heard. And I really wanted to be real, so I'll say yes.
What does it feel?
I made that shit up.
Yeah, of course you fucking did.
Thank God.
Because if that was real, I don't know if I could watch anymore.
I was like, okay, I have to phrase it the way a poorly translated interview would sound.
That's what really sold it, where I'm like, you put some work into this shit if it was fucking fake.
I was like, there's no way this guy was interviewed ever. The writer of this hour.
Yeah, but who's gonna interview a filler anime?
But I wanted to be real so hard.
See, here's the thing. When he said it, I too initially just had that thought of who interviews this fucker.
I didn't think that.
But the extra layer really was, this seems so perfectly crafted, like a stand-up routine made out of malice. It was too smart.
All right.
Well played. Well played. I think that was the best one of those yet.
You won, Phil. You did.
Yeah.
All right. Now we need to rate these on our tightness scale.
Oh.
We choose a rating 0 to 25 for this set of episodes to determine how tight it was or is. You can refer to this in the current if you like.
Yeah, if you want, as a treat.
I mean, by the time this comes out, it will be was.
Yes.
Yes.
I'll lead.
Sure.
Let's see. This is
Dun, 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 dun.
I'm going to say this was about the same as the last set of episodes for me. I'm going to rate it 7 was the last set. I think they both had the same level of ups and downs, and I actually kind of like this awful filler episode they made.
Okay. Sure. Bob is a generous god.
The reason it's sticking with 7 is because that last episode that was filler of a flashback, that was one of the worst episodes of Bleach we've ever watched.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Oh, yes.
How do you feel about these episodes?
It's hard for me to imagine that there will be a worse set than this. 0, because even the movie at least sated some intellectual curiosity. This is exactly like every bad filler of every anime I've ever watched.
Yes. They haven't even started shooting shit at you yet.
I'm waiting for a filler arc where every one of us gives every set a 0.
Yeah, I know. I am prepared, and I know of a set I will give a 0.
It's like we're 3 episodes, like podcast episodes, into a fucking filler arc, and it's like Dan's an alcoholic now.
because we decided to knock out 4 Chugging Bleach episodes in 2 days.
All right, KZ, what do you think? How tight was this?
This was worse than the last set for me, but not too much worse. I'm gonna say that it was worse than the last set, but the same as the first chunk of the filler, at least for me. There are some ups, there were some downs. I'm giving it an 8,
Okay.
as I gave a 10 for the last set.
All right.
And Dan, you get to lead us off.
Okay, so if you recall, the first chunk of episodes from this filler, I gave a 0.
You
Yes.
you foolishly gave a 0.
Oh
yes.
no, that was wise. I'm giving this 1 point because it has the bunnies with Rukia. If it didn't have that, it would also be a 0. It's so bad. They're like, thanks to you, woman, jobbing with your mommy powers, we can now lay eggs that will hatch. We're gonna ignore this for a fucking episode that really sucks.
Well,
We got 2 of the worst filler episodes you could fucking write shoved into these fucking 5 episodes.
it is wonderful that I can now say, upon looking at this is our worst reviewed set of Bleach episodes ever. Successfully beating out the start of the filler arc by 2
Bleach,
points.
yeah, Chugging Bleach episode 15, which is episode 64 through 68. This is 2 points worse. I'm serious. If I didn't have those bunnies, guys, I would have nothing.
That's fair.
Bob fucking carried the score. We carried it across the finish line.
Yeah, no, if I didn't find the mommy powers so funny, I would have rated this lower.
Yeah, I know.
But
the
then
mommy powers is so funny, I considered giving this an 11 on principle.
Them brazenly just sitting there and dropping everything leading up to this in the arc to start on their weird mommy power arc is really funny.
Yes.
See, I didn't actually find the mommy power thing that funny. I found found the next time we see the other lady Bount looking that salty and mad for no reason. I was like, she's mad because she doesn't have mommy powers. And that's what was funny to me.
The fact they're like, we have to abandon the Uryu plot line because the villains learn what everyone already knew. He can't do anything, so what can he actually do? But they're like, Uryu, you still have to stay with us. So something they might go after you.
A real high priority target, this
They don't go after anyone.
This piece of stale white bread. What a bad set of episodes.
But it could have been worse.
Thanks for calling me out to Chugging Bleach, everyone. Bye.
Bye. Thanks for listening. Shows like Mondo Cool and Chugging Bleach are only possible thanks to our wonderful supporters over on Patreon. If you head on over to patreon.com/gbpodcasts and pledge at the $5 or above level, you not only get early access to Chugging Bleach and Mondo Cool before they're released to the public, but you'll also gain access to exclusive shows like Armchair Devs Extra and Cursed Content by Committee. Thank you so much for listening, and we'll see you guys next time.
The executive producers for this month of GigaBoots are Esme, E. Lee Broyles, Star Falcon, Spaceman Spiff, Red Blaze 27, Brendan O'Sullivan, Live Action Muito Real, Completely Normal Adam, Cooper Tank, Zilter, and Virvarm. Thank you very much to our executive producers, and also these patrons. If you want to become an executive producer for an obscure but powerful YouTube channel, head on over to patreon.com/GigaBoots today.